Hey everybody, I hope you are doing fine. This is already the 10th episode of Juno Live, so it's been 10 Monday, plus one where I was at week 3 meet, where we have this live chat. As always, I hope that I don't have technical issue and everybody this work fine, that the stream is live, that the sound is up, and yeah, so today we gonna continue to deep dive into the serverless function with our Doodle-like Dapp that we are building. But before jumping into that, I wanted to show you an improvement that I developed in the tooling last week. So until today, it has always been since this year, it's possible to implement those serverless function, and in those serverless function you have like the hooks, like as we are using, like the onset hook and so on and so on, but you couldn't generate your own function, like your own public endpoint. And it's not like you couldn't, it's just like you could, but then the developer experience was cumbersome because it was not implemented by Juno. So yeah, I did that and I kind of pumped about the way it works. So let me show you. So we have our project here, like the demo application. So I'm gonna start it. Okay, that's our app, right? And let's just say that I want to add like some endpoint to that just say hello or whatever, doesn't matter. So I go in my REST editor and I'm gonna zoom, right? And I go to our satellites, like where we have the serverless function, right? And let's say that here I want to add a new endpoint. So just one that does hello. So we're gonna declare a query that's standard on the IC, and we say it's gonna be called hello, doesn't take a parameter, return a string, and it return word. Oh, let's do better. Let's say here we say we give a text as parameter, and this one return hello with the text. Okay, good. Okay, so now generally what you do on the IC, you build and then you generate your types and whatever and stuff. So here let me just show you what we're gonna do. You go to your console and you build the canister. As you know, it builds the satellites with your function, and it also auto like reload the backend, the replica. And now that it's done, what we're gonna do is we just go in our public route, like in our code, and here let me add a console log. The function was called hello, right? So we're gonna import hello, and we say David tick, and here we go here, and I got an error because I need first to install the last version of Juno, which I did not do here because I literally updated my dependency before starting the live. So 2 seconds, we need to update this one. All right. Let's do like that. I got some issue, but we're just gonna go quick for the demo. So here I got 27, right? And now, oh, life is hard sometimes. All right, you see? Hello, David. And that's it. So I have updated my CLI, I have updated the library to have the last tooling as always, but you see, the thing is like, whatever I gonna write here now for function, let's do an update. I can pass parameter or not, and then I can also return result. That doesn't matter. That can be an object too. Like if I want to have like a, let's take that, for example, let's say that's my struct is called second, doesn't matter, right? And contains, I don't know, like a boolean, right? And here we return this or an error, doesn't really matter. And here we just gonna return a success. Okay, just for test. And you see again, here I go, I build. It's because I have to import this, sorry. Candid type. Okay, and then I go in my front-end code, and here I do console log await. There was second example, I think, right? No, what was? Yeah, so second example, and I should get the value here. You see, it's an update call, so I get the result and so on, and it's all typed. And if I take that in a const to check TypeScript, you see that here I can go there, and here I'm gonna have the result with the types and so on. And I can also add like lots of parameters, for example, I don't know, like etc. etc. which can be object too and so on. And every time you do that, like your API is automatically generated. And if we have a look to what is generated, is you see here you have the declaration folder that was created, and in that folder we have the typical file generated on the IC, which are the did file. And here we have an API that is, by the way, here you see it's already failing because I have to pass two param. And this whole file here is automatically generated. So every time you're gonna add a new function, it will create a new export const with the type, then generate all the parameters, return the type, use automatically an actor, means that you don't have to care about identity or whatever, sign in, it's all, Juno, it works out of the box, and that's it. So it's kind of nice. I mean, of course, I'm biased since I implemented it, but yeah, I hope you also find that it's kind of handy. And it's not yet documented. I think generally speaking, all the serverless function feature we have implemented recently in this Monday live stream have not yet been documented, but yeah, particularly if the SNS DAO pass, then I think we're gonna have to add all these examples in form of standalone example, document that on the website or on GitHub, but at least you should find that through the websites. We should also add all this function that we are adding, right? Okay, so let's do just a cleanup because we don't want to have everything. So I just gonna keep a simple example here. I'm gonna remove this to clean up. All right. I'm gonna generate the types, and here in the, we don't need that somehow. Yes, super. And here I will clean up also the layout to just have the hello world. Remove this. Okay, and let's make a pull request for that, which is auto API. I don't know how you call that. Okay. Oh no. Ah, making the pull request make me think that maybe someday, like in a future Monday call, we can maybe have a look, or you can create a CI that use Juno Docker as backend to run your end-to-end test. It's something I do quite often nowadays, and even when I work for my clients. And yeah, it's just a few lines of code, so we can set up that in a call. So maybe we should do that. All right. Okay. If there is no questions so far, as always, you can ping me anytime. I've also implemented something new this weekend so that, I've got that Dapp Proposal.network, which is used to create motion proposal or any types of proposal I basically need. And am I logged? Yes. So can create proposal and so on, but we can have that another day. But so far there were no option to delete your own proposal. So this weekend I added the this option that you can come here, and then here you can delete your proposal. And I made all that steps where I first implemented it in the front end, and then I started re-implementing few parts with serverless function. Therefore, I had the idea that we can do something similar to here with our Juno calendar things. Okay? Because actually, if I sign up here, maybe not. Yes. If I go to the dashboard, I have a delete button that does nothing, right? So let's implement that, right? Okay. All right. So let's say right now we just want to implement it with the front end. So we search where we have that button. I guess it's delete. Yes. And here I'm gonna need a non-click event. And here I'm gonna have like a function to delete stuff, right? Did I have a clean architecture? Not really. Huh? We just do stuff. Okay. So do I have? Yeah, I have the doc. So I want to delete that doc. So I'm gonna do delete doc, and here I need the doc, which I have, and I need the collection, which is notes, I think. No, events. Okay. And then I guess that once it's deleted. We want to reload everything. Oh, I don't know how that apps works anymore. You know, like reload all the stuff. So do we have that somewhere? Your events, login, dashboard. Here we do list, and list do that, blah, blah, blah. Ah, we have example reload. And this is triggered nowhere. So I gonna copy that. Where do I have that? I guess Proposals.network, I got that. Okay. Sometimes you use a store and so on, and global store, but here, just for simplicity, what we do is basically we emit, and here we have to pass a parameter, which is the message. It's called example reload. So we dispatch an event on the document, and in our dashboard, I think it is, we have a svelte listener on the whole window that listen to this event, and if it is happen, it just gonna reload all the document. Like, yeah, I mean, discutable if we implement that in a real app, but yeah, we are just in a test. So if I delete this one here now, you see it disappear. Ah. Do we already have like a buzzy spinner or something? When I do here, not really, huh? Okay. So alert, answer, auth. We got a toast, I guess. No, how does that work? Alert store. Yeah. Where do I set that stuff? Nowhere? Come on. Ah, here. So set. Yeah, let's just do that so that we see it. That's not super, but yeah, right. And let's see now. Document deleted. All right. So now if I go here and I delete, it's not perfect, but at least at some point should have this, and yes, it worked out. Huh? It was ugly, but it worked out here. Huh? Okay. Right. So we got our delete. Great. Now let's assume that when there are few answers, like here we have like one answer, you know, like we did that commit, we, we want to delete the answers too. Maybe it's not what we want in a real life application. Maybe there is a status, but in that case, we want to delete those. So those answers are saved in another collection, right? So we have, I think, the answer in a collection answer. And the answers are added with the event as a description, right? So if we want to delete those from our front end, what we're gonna do is we're gonna search for the answers. List docs, I guess. But then we don't have the answers, right? We just have their ID. But let's do it. Then we see how verbose it is. That's a good point. Or maybe it works anyway. So collection was answers, right? And then we search with a filter on, I think it's a matcher, on the description, which would be our event doc.key, right? And if I do that, I should get a list of answers here. Okay, I just gonna comment that. Comment, right, let's put that here. Okay, super. So if I click here, yes, I have like the items, okay? So we want to delete those as well. So either we do a loop and we dock, or we do a loop and we delete all, or what we can do is we can do a delete many docs, I think, yes, where we pass the docs, which is an array, and in the docs we want first to delete all these answers, so we're gonna do answers.map. No, it's items.map. Here I got a doc and I want to map that to collection answers and doc, right? What does not work? That's a doc, right? Items return t. Oh, what's collection string? Type doc is not here. I should spread it. And once it's done, I want to delete also the document. All right. So if I do that, I should delete all the answers if there are some, and then delete the event. So yeah, that should work. All right, work it out. So it's cool to solve an extension, but it has pros and cons, right? Because here we have to do a list, but the list is paginated, so maybe I don't have all of those. And then also like a request can only be 2 mega, so maybe like spreading all the documents like gonna be more than 2 mega. But on the other side, list is cheap because it's a query. So yeah, it has pros and cons. But one cons that I can think of is like having the data in sync. Is like it still always think that when you do something from the front end is kind of like the best case scenario, but I don't know if something goes sideways and this kind of things. And maybe it would be nice to just delete the doc and actually let the backend smart contract do the job and clean up those those um, those answers. And another thing which can maybe be interesting is if you delete an answer, maybe you say, yeah, but I don't, or delete an event, let's say, maybe you want to add an assertion that say, yeah, you don't have the right to delete the event because they are still answer, or the contrary, you don't have the right to delete an answer because, you know what I mean? Like having like a, not an effect, but like having a pre-validation to a deletion. So that's the two things I implemented in Proposal.networks, and it's what I suggest that we try to implement today. Okay, right. So before we get there, I also did something else in Proposal.networks this weekend. You see here in our library, in our smart contract, yes, we have implemented some jobs here, but there is that function that does nothing, this one neither, and so on and so on. And that's because when we get the template, Juno just add all functions so that you know that they exist and so on. But actually, we can clean up that and just have what we need to make a bit things more readable. So what we can do is I'm gonna open Proposal.network so that I have like the snippet. All right, so what we're gonna do is we go in our cargo tunnel here. And it's similar to that actually. So on the Juno satellite, what we're gonna do is instead of having just the version, we pass an object and we say, okay, the version is this. And then we say, okay, we don't want the default features. And we only want, the only one we have implemented right now, it's onset docked, right? So here we say, we only want this one. That way, in my library, I can come here and I can just clean that. So that's a bit more, yeah, it's a bit more readable, right? And if I build, it should still work. Because if I don't disable default and just remove a function, then the build gonna say, hey, pay attention, that's not what you want. I think, like, actually we can try, that's a good point. Like if I do that and go in the lib here, and here I just delete this function, for example, remove the import, and then try to build, it should complain, right? Yes, you see? They say, that stuff doesn't exist. So, which I don't know if it's good or not, but that's how it works. All right, so here let's commit that. Disable default. All right. Oh, I forgot to zoom here. Sorry for that. Okay, and I'm gonna sync the branch. Super, and here I will switch back to the delete documents and just gonna pull, right? Okay. So now let's implement an assertion as an example that says you don't have the right to delete an event if that event contains answer, okay? So to do that, we're gonna implement an assert delete doc. Okay. So I go in the cargo tunnel and then I say, okay, we also want that. Read. I take the snippet here and I go in my library and I put it here and I'm gonna import that. I'm gonna import this. All right. So we don't want an event to be deletable if they are answer, which means that we can also just run that assertion on the collection event. So here, what we can do, we can scope, as you know, we can scope to which collection. So we just say on the events, right? And I'm gonna create a module assertion because that's gonna be a bit more clean, right? Assert. And here, what we want to do is assert no answer, okay? And I'm gonna use this here and I will return either okay or an error. And what we're gonna do is didn't we add a function to count? I think so, no? How do we do that? Oh, we already have a count answer function here. I guess we can use that. Ah, yeah, it used the count doc store we have implemented recently. So, cool. So here, let's count equals count answer. Okay. And here we need to pass the event key. So we're gonna pass context. So in the context, I get the collection, the key, and I get the current document within the memory and the payload of what's passed from the front end. So, but here what we say, we need the key. I see that I have the key. It's wrong. What to? Oh, come on. So, okay, sorry for that. Data key. Super. And this except that. And here we're gonna do if count even bigger. Yeah, that was French, sorry. If count bigger than 0, then it's an error. Uh, Events has answers. Maybe we can even go fancy and say event has x answers. And here we're gonna put the count. Else, ooh, okay, right? And so here we're gonna text. Okay, sounds good. So if I build, where did I get that? That's unrelated, but it annoys me. Okay. Okay, so if we go to the front end, what we're gonna do is here I will comment that way we on purpose don't delete the answer, right? So we comment this. Okay, so much example. So okay, so here I have two answers, right? So now if I delete, I should get an error. Yes. Ah, beautiful. But that's not the error I accepted because it doesn't return the error. Do I get the payload here? What do I get? Promise void. I guess I just get a general error. I don't have the data, which is a bit annoying. Maybe that's something we can improve in the future, right? Let me try with just a delete. Collection events doc like this. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. So maybe I've mistyped that in the code, but anyway, we see that it works. If here, for example, I would return OK, Ah, I'm dumb. It's maybe just because I don't catch the error in my front end. Anyway, if I delete here, it's gonna go through. Yeah, super. So let's do that again. And here I build, and here. Not sure, really. It's maybe something missing. Anyway. So let's look. Not better. Maybe something that I should pop. Maybe that should say that. Maybe the message is not well sent back. Anyway, we have our assertion. And what's interesting to know is that this assertion happens before the actual update. So when you do like a delete doc or an insert doc, then if there is an assertion, the satellites will call first the assertion and then do the change. So it's not like something that does a rollback or whatever and change the state. It's like really like within the same call. It's synchronous, unlike the hooks which are asynchronous and started afterwards. Okay, super cool. So let's merge that. Okay, assertion. All right, and no, I was saying that it's cool to do that with a delete manit docs, but maybe we want to do that in the backend. So what we do is we want to delete the answers when an event. How are you gonna do that? Yeah, but then our check gonna be I want to delete the answers when I delete an event, but of course here then this is kind of the contrary of what I want to implement now, because here we disallow deleting a document if there is no answer. So we're gonna have to change that. So here let's say that it's actually answers and assert no events, and here we're gonna do. So now what I want to do is I don't have the right to delete an answer if an event exists, just the contrary. So I got the key, so I'm gonna do let event get doc store, which is me, the smart contract, so I'm a manager. I want to query the collection events, and I want to query that particular key, right? To string, maybe, yes. And here what we do is, if there is an error, we bubble it. And here what we do is match event. Let's let some. If event is none, then it's fine, okay? But if there is still an event, then we're gonna throw an error and we're gonna say answers have an event. Okay. But you see, it goes. Yeah, one way or another, it works, right? Okay. So here we just do if there is an answer. If someone would try to delete an answer, then he would check if the event still exists, and if the event still exists, he would say, oh, no, you cannot delete that because the answer has still an event. Okay. And now what we want to do, finally, we want to implement on delete doc, right? So here, and we want to implement this. So here, likewise, I had it there. And here, now we say that we want to start it when a document in the collection events is deleted. So when an event is deleted, we check if there are answers, and if there are answers, then we delete those answers, kind of like a cleanup. So let's create a module. And here we're gonna do cube fn delete answers. Here we take this, we're gonna result or write or a string. Ah, super. So lib, here we're gonna do tac 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 context tac tac tac. Awesome. So here we're gonna check if there are answers, which is basically that's a get doc store. So we're gonna do our list doc here, I guess. Is there another way? No, I guess we can do that, yeah. List. Do we have list? No. Here. Get doc store. Is it a list doc store? Okay, let's do that. But we already had that things once in one of our Juno call, no? Maybe we have that in the examples. It's just I'm that lazy and I just want to copy a piece of code. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, I was sure that we already used that. But so let answers. Alright. So what do we need to know? Color. So that's us manager. I guess collection and filter. Ah yes, of course, we're gonna need the list params. So, hoopla. So in the answers, hoopla. And here we need the filter. What those? None, order, none, matcher. Yeah, we need one, right? So here we need a list matcher. So they're gonna use sum. And here we're gonna get key, doesn't matter. Description here gonna be our context.data.key. And created at we don't care, updated at we don't care. And we have owner, we don't care neither. And here we just need to, I guess, clone or string. I should someday have a cleanup of these types. What? Ah, sorry for that. Some cannot move. Clone. Are we good? No. Still not good. Option string. Okay. And here we are. And here I think we pass the filter here. All right. So okay. So if we get answers, we gonna need to iterate on those. So do I have like maybe an example of 4 or something here? Don't have. I'm really lame, like don't have that. Delete, del, doc. No. All right. So for what does yeah what does that for answer in answers, I guess. Is that correct? List result. Okay. And in list result, what do we have? Items. Okay. So in items, we got key and doc. So here we want key. We don't care about the doc. We do care? Ooh, that's a good point. Maybe we care. And so now for each of those, we want to delete the document. So we're gonna do a delete doc star, I guess. Yes. That collection, right? And what do we want to give? We need to give the key and an object for deletion. So the key is key, right? And here we need to make, so it's a partial document, because when you update from the front end, you don't have to pass everything. So it's gonna be how does that work? Del doc. You see that it's basically just the version. Maybe in the future there will be more, but right now it's just that. So del doc up version tac doc dot version. Bim bam boom. Ah yeah. Alright, we got it. So if we check, when a document in the collection event is deleted, this one should kick asynchronously. Then we get the key, we search for all the answers, and if they are answered, we iterate on these, and then we just delete one after the other. So let's put a print here. And we're gonna put a key, right? And here I guess you're gonna complain because this one is not copied. So pom, 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 pom. Right. Funny, I still have lots of console out. So here cool. We have an answer. So if I delete this one, I should see one time that delete answer, maybe. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, it worked out. That's super. So let's try to have like 2 and 3 in that in one stuff. So here we should see 2 delete answer in the console log. Nice. Yeah. So that works out. Okay, that's it. So what did we do today? So first we have seen that new features that if you do if you add your own endpoint, you build, and once it's built, you can just go in your front end code, and in your front end you don't have to know anything about whatever actor, candid, whatever stuff. You just call your function and it works out of the box. And we have written some assertions that are run before something change in your smart contract. And in that assertion, what we did like some checks, for example, get doc store. And if it's fine, then we return OK, otherwise an error. And if there is an error, then nothing happens. And we also implemented a hook that, no, it's funny that here. So here I list some documents within that hook, and then for each hook, I delete those. Yeah, not too bad for 45 minutes of live stream. All right, so I think we're gonna call it a Monday or Monday live stream. Thanks for joining. If you have questions, you can ping me here or anytime, as always. And next Monday, if everything goes well, if everything is clear, I suggest that next Monday, instead of coding, we actually propose or create the proposal to transform Juno into a DAO through SNS. I've implemented support to create proposal in Proposal.network, but there are a few things to do, like adding canister, this kind of thing. So we can review that and submit the proposal together. That would be fun. Right? So thanks for joining. Enjoy your week, and yeah, speak soon.